right?
Yeah.
So, ever since 2014, I was going to a Bible university, and I went there because I wanted to seek God. You get what I'm saying? Because I love Him. So when I got there, he started showing me all this stuff about it was going to be a famine, we was going to be on martial law, and all this stuff. So I started preparing, meaning I started stocking up on food, stocking up on water, and all this stuff. I'm $25,000 in debt in college because all the money I got back from my student loans, I was basically doing what God showed me. Now back then everything was good, everything was all gravy. I was really looking crazy. You get what I'm saying? 'Cause people like this girl talking about this, but then she started to say this, and then stuff started popping up on the news, so people started calling me a prophet at my school and all this crazy stuff. But it was just God. So he started giving me Bible verses on storing up for food. So we're going to start off with scripture first because everything go back to there. Genesis chapter 6 verse 21, it says, "As for you, take for yourself some of all the food which is edible, and gather it to yourself, and it shall be for food for you and for them." So when I saw that, I was like, okay, this confirmation. I'm not crazy. God is talking to me. So, 1 Chronicles chapter 28, verses 12, it says, "And the plan of all that he had in mind for the courts of the house of the Lord, and for all of the surrounding rooms, for all storehouses of God, and for the storehouses of the dedicated things." That means we are obligated as people of God. If you believe in God, you're supposed to have a storehouse. I don't care. Some people call it a cellar, a root cellar, or stuff like that. Like my uncle had that, but back then I didn't know what it was. Jeremiah 41, chapter 8, it says, "But 10 men who are found among them said unto Ishmael, Do not put us to death, for we have stores of wheat, barley, oil, and honey hid in the fields." So he refrained and did not put them to death along with their companions. So either way it go, people were storing back then, and people really should be preparing now. Luke chapter 12, verse 19 says, "And I will say to my soul, Soul, you have many goods laid up for many years to come. Take your ease, eat, drink, and be merry." So with everything that's going on, you don't want to be like people, because I'm going to be honest. I asked my baby daddy, like, what you going to do when everything go down? Now, this was years ago. So, like I said, everybody was looking at me like I was crazy. And he was like, well, I got a gun. I know how to, you know what I'm saying, take what I want. So basically, you're going to be a looter. You're going to be one of these people who did not prepare. And when you see everything crashing, the banking system, all that stuff, you just going to be like everybody else. Instead of storing up what you can now, go and get a piece of land or something. And then you and your family going to be secure because y'all was wise. Y'all stored up stuff. So that's out of the way. The first thing you want to start preparing is when you get extra money. Some people get food stamps, some people don't. You know what I'm saying? Canned goods. Canned goods, the rice-a-ronis, anything that you could just add water to, boil, that's good. You get what I'm saying? Eventually, canned goods, they're going to get heavy, but when you don't have money to buy stuff like more expensive stuff, dehydrated foods, MREs, just start with that. The more you stock, the better off you'll be. You might have to ration it off, but you'll be good. So when I first started, I started buying stuff like this. Now, anytime you go to the grocery store, what you want to check is the expiration date. I don't eat pork, but people who do eat pork, Spam gonna be your best friend because it expires like 3 to 4 years from the date that you buy it. This tuna, but this expired on 2023, this 2022. So whatever has a longer expiration date, that's what you do. If you eat it, whatever you eat, put it back. Meaning, if you eat a can of something, when you go to the grocery store, remember that, buy it, and you know what I'm saying, you're gonna be good. So after I started doing that, the next step is these. This might not be the next step, but this how I got in debt in college. I was so scared with all the dreams that God was giving me that I just went on the internet and bought $1,000 worth of military MREs. Anybody got scissors? So I'm going to open this. I don't eat pork, but if y'all want to try it just to, you know what I'm saying, see how it is, whatever works for your taste buds. This stuff don't expire until probably like a long time, 5-6 years after you get it, but you got to keep it in a cool, dark area. I'm gonna pass this.
MRE?
It's an MRE. It's called Meals Ready to Eat. This is what they give soldiers who are in like combat or whatever. So in these meals, you have, this is your entree. So I think it give you like 2,200 calories. That's a lot of calories. You're gonna be full. It's pinto beans with pinto beans stewed with ham. So like if you made a pot of pinto beans and you put pork in it, this is what you got. Here, pass this around, Charnel. So you got that. It comes with fork, salt, pepper, sugar, sweet tart, spoon, cream for coffee. It got sugar cookies. If you want to heat it up, if you're not in a rush, you take a little bit of water and you fill it to this line right here. And what you do is it's going to activate this heater. And so you don't have to eat cold food. So it's going to heat it up for you.
Inside of that?
Inside of this bag. You go cut it open. Pour a little bit of water to this line. You go put that inside of that box inside of here. You go fold it up and then you go put it inside of that and then it's go heat up your food. Yeah, I don't eat pork. So you got like, you eat pinto beans, right?
Yeah.
So you eat pork?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, like,
so it come with a drink mix. It come with coffee. It come with like
drink mix.
Like a trail mix, but it's like toasted corn. You got crackers, you got all this stuff. So I'm just gonna pass it around. So yeah, and it gets you full. To me, I like it because it tastes good. Depending on which one you get, I don't got no problem with it. But I feel like if you're in the middle of a famine and you gotta feed your family or whoever come your way, you're not gonna be concerned about taste. You're gonna be concerned about survival. Pass it around. So after you get to that level, like I said, I was going in debt buying them things because first of all, they high. You get a box of 12 for like $130. They expensive for 12. But if you ask me, it's worth it. So what I started doing was I started buying these Marlar bags. And like if you get a bag of chips, you open them up, this is what it's going to look like on the inside to preserve the stuff. So you get these Mylar bags and you take some oxygen absorbers, which suck all the air out of your food so that it don't go rancid, so it don't go bad. It's two things that'll make your food go bad. There's moisture and there's air. So if you put an oxygen absorber in something in one of these bags, I started making my own. I used to take these, put them inside of here, take crackers, take a drink mix, take anything that you could get that will fit in this bag. And I had a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner. So each one of these bags had a day's worth of food and snacks to go in them. You can get creative with it. You can do whatever you want to do. It really depends on you. Don't store up something that you don't eat. Because when something breaks out, which it is, you don't want your kids to be like, I want to eat this, or you don't want your kids to have an allergic reaction to something, and then this is all you got. It's not going to be good, and it's not going to be pretty.
So what's this for? You say okay.
It's a heater. It's a heater.
Heat up the food?
Yeah.
The bean stuff?
Yeah. Like if you got a bag and you wanted to put your coffee or whatever hot drink, tea, you put the bag inside of that bag, and then it's going to heat it up for you. It's a heater right there.
I've seen that before, but back in the day, they used to call that sea ration in the military.
Yes, that's what it is.
And we get all of those kind of things like that.
I love this stuff.
So you can help me.
So the next step after if you got money, these are cheaper, but these are extra expensive. This is called freeze dried food. So you go from this military MRE to freeze dried food. Now this don't expire to December 2048.
What?
Because it's freeze dried, so they suck like 90% of the moisture out the food, so it lasts a long time. I done took this to work. It tastes so good. You just add boiling water and it cooks it inside of the bag. So when everything hit the fan and you got a bug out on the inside of your house, because everybody don't have land, everybody don't have the means to just get away. You want something that's not going to draw attention to people. You get what I mean? Because you got to understand, on the outside of your house, while you prepare and while you got everything you need, you got some hungry people out here that's been jobless for almost a year now, and they will kill you for a can of corn because they babies is hungry, and so is their wife, their kids, whatever. So this tastes so good. I love it. But yeah, these cost like $10 a pack, depending on where you get them from. You can get them with food stamps at Walmart. So every time you go in the camping section, and that's where this stuff at. So yeah. Once you get past that, I used to go on Amazon and get these SOS rations. So let's say, for instance, you run out of food, you're down to your last little bit. This is where these bars come into play. So they vacuum seal these bags so that it can suck the moisture out so that they can last. I think it's like 369. It's 9 bars in here. So if you run out of food, this will hold you over until, I guess, your next meal, if it ever comes. And I'm just being honest because it's about to get bad. So after I did that, this is a food dehydrator. It's called an Excalibur.
Yes, you know. Well,
You want me to cut your lips off? I will play. Now look, this is a food dehydrator. This comes with 9 trays. Now you go see this stuff because I've been dehydrating food in here. No, I'm not gonna clean it off. So, it got different settings on it. You can make, you know how you go to the store and buy like fruit roll-ups, fruit by the foot. You can make your, it's called fruit leathers. You can make your own fruit leathers in here. You can dehydrate meats, vegetables, fruit, whatever it is that you want. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna preserve your food for you. I got some stuff in here that I already done preserved.
Without, I mean, we have to try the stuff.
But you about to go eat dinner.
That's why you should have waited.
It's okay. It's all right. Do what you want.
I don't want to eat this, but at least.
No, I'm just showing you like the stuff that you can get. You get what I'm saying? So when you buy it, you can try it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so you basically just buy what you think you like?
Yeah.
Like
Well, not even that. I don't even know.
Lasagna.
This is my mindset. I don't know if I'm even gonna like this SOS ration. But if it get down to where me and my family are starving, at this point, it's not about what you like. It's not about what you don't eat. It's about, are you gonna eat this or are you gonna die?
Right.
So
Where
when
you
you
bought this at?
Amazon, and you can get it from a military
Store.
yeah.
What's the name
I
of
go
McDonald's
to
on
yeah, I go
there?
to the one in Forest Park.
Like, it's across street. Wait a minute, it's across street from some apartments. No, it's a McDonald's. It's on the corner. Like, is that Riverdale?
What
It's
about?
Riverdale.
What stuff is this?
It's across the street from
Mommy's.
apartments and hotels and stuff. Is that Highway 85?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need some right
So it's
here.
Thank
like
you.
those other things, like, you know, hamburger helper candy.
Yeah, it's like a hamburger helper. So when you get down to this dehydrator, I think I paid almost $300 for this, but if you ask me, it's worth it. Basically, we are about to get ready to go back to the ages of the Great Depression. Meat was a luxury. How you can just go out and buy meat. So what I do is, this is 9 pounds of ground beef. You can't tell because it's dehydrated. All the moisture been sucked out of it. So what you do is you cook your ground beef. Now the way you want to do this, anything that have fat in it, it will go rancid. It will go bad. So what I do is I boil it instead of frying it. And after I get through boiling it and it's done, yeah. Thank you, Queen. I'll drain all the water out, but then I'll take some more boiling water and pour it over it just to make sure all the fat out. So once all the fat out, you put it in here, and when it comes out, it's going to look like this.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
when you buying stuff like Hamburger Helper and they have all these noodles, sauces, you just got to add it. You got to add water. This is what it is. It's just dehydrated food that you're reconstituting all over again. So, here.
Bro, Benson right here.
I got some stuff that I had done dehydrated.
How you do the noodles?
Oh, huh?
How you do the noodles?
Same way. You can dry can those. Now, this stuff called dry canning
No,
because.
if it's an emergency and you can't boil the noodles, how do you cook the noodles?
It got real small. We should do
So,
Sit down
I'm going to
first.
get to that.
You only fill the jar, really. You only fill the
Oh,
jar.
anyway, so I done dehydrated several things. Now, like I said, only thing you have to do is just add water. These are habanero peppers.
It's on.
These are green peppers. Here's Chanel. Now, this is like 3 trays of this, and the trays are real. Let me show y'all what the trays are like.
So you just put water
This
on
is
it.
1 tray.
Come back.
So what I did was, if you got meat, I put the meat on here to keep it from leaking through. But if you got bell peppers and stuff, you just put it on 1 tray. This one little can is 3 trays of bell peppers. But like I said, once it sucks all the moisture out, it's going to shrink it in size. That's why when you see those hamburger packets, the hamburger helper packets, and it don't have that much in there, it's because once you add water and reconstitute it, it's going to go back to its original size.
This tomatoes.
No, I got tomatoes in there. Those are red peppers.
So once you pour water on it, it come back to
Yeah, it come back to its regular size. These are bell peppers.
This awesome.
Bell peppers. These are tomatoes. These are mushrooms. That's it.
Coco, I gotta meet one of my wife's sisters.
Are you okay? You fine?
No, I'm saying because I want you to watch my children.
Oh no.
I'm doing the seminar. Okay. So this is rosemary. So when you go to the pharmacy, now when you get a dehydrator, what you're gonna want to do is get a
I'll help her watch. I'll help you watch.
when you get a dehydrator, you're gonna want to get a coffee grinder, because whatever it is that you have hard, you can turn it into a powder. Like if you got those tomatoes, if you put it inside of a coffee grinder, it's gonna turn it to a powder. So when you add it to like your chilies and your stews, it's gonna thicken it up for you. So
Oh wow.
it's that's rosemary.
You said you're going to
So
I gotta go back.
This how they
No,
be in
we
the
ain't
store
stopping
sometimes.
so after you get past this stage,
What is this?
really you should start growing your own vegetables and your own fruits anyway.
These are mushrooms, y'all.
I got these are
I think
non-GMO
that's
heirloom
rosemary.
seeds. Now
Maybe we take one out and put the water.
Hey, that's rosemary.
Y'all want to see?
but
that.
these peppers, y'all gotta be
Yeah,
careful because this stuff, before I dehydrated these habaneros, they wasn't burning my fingers. But once I dehydrated them and I took them out, my finger was burning for like 3 days. They did, yes. So if you ever wanted to make your own pepper spray
Leave it
for
alone, Sam.
huh?
I'm telling Sam, leave it alone. Don't take none out. I don't want to be
But
telling
if you,
none of
but that's just for the peppers. That's mushroom and that.
these-
So have a seat. Hold on, wait.
It's starting to look, but I wanted, I was scared, but I wanted to be lighter.
Okay, so what these are is heirloom seeds. I got everything in here from okra to watermelon to cantaloupe, spinach, squash, collard greens, celery, carrots, cabbage. All these seeds is in here, and this is over 9,500 seeds.
Show now, need my
Now, yes, so I already start. Thank you, Zoe. I already started planting some collard greens, and the thing about that's why God said I give you everything bearing seed, because once you grow your collard greens, you just keep breaking the stems off, and it's gonna keep growing back and keep giving you. It's gonna replenish itself, so you ain't gonna have to worry about none of that. Now with these Marla bags, some people don't have a sealer to put their stuff in and seal it up. So I just take this, put the oxygen absorber in it, and seal the ends with a flat iron. It's not gonna burn anything. It's just gonna do that. So once you get past food, oh my gosh, I left the book bag.
Oh damn, lady, you gotta move up.
The military bag.
Yes, I had a book. Now you gonna want to make a bug out book bag. Now y'all can go on YouTube and see how you do all this stuff. I forgot it, but I had this big old military book bag where I had medical supplies, extra clothes, because during the Great Depression, everybody who was in these big nice houses, they still gonna want you to pay taxes. They still gonna want you to pay your rent. And what happens when you don't have the money to pay your rent anymore? So I had posted this video on my YouTube channel with them talking about this stuff. It's called DARPA hydrogel. And what this stuff is inside of these vaccines. This lady, she worked for FEMA. So she said every time they test you for the coronavirus, whether they sticking a Q-tip in the back of your mouth and your nose, if you get your blood drawn, they are giving you this DARPA hydrogel. And what that is the mark of the beast. So once you get this stuff and God come back and get his people, you will no longer be recognized as a person of God, because it's not like the chip where you can put it in your body and you can take it out. What it's going to do is it's going to become one with your being, with your bones, with your marrow, your blood, all that stuff. So if you can hold out, this is the patience of the saints. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people believe that the rapture is about to get ready to happen, and I've been having my rapture dreams like so close together. So I know, and there's people on YouTube who having the same rapture dreams as me. So I would just say hold it down. If y'all got a bunch up in one house, do that. You get what I'm saying? But don't take that mark. You know what I'm saying? So after you get that down pat, then you want to food, water, the preservation of your food. Then you're gonna want to have to move to medicine. Did I get another one? Okay, you're gonna want to move to medicine. So while everybody is talking about this coronavirus and all this stuff, I got this herb. It's called mullein. Mullein is a plant that is strictly for your respiratory tract. You get what I'm saying? Anything that's going on, you got a cough, you got a cold, you got the flu, you got pneumonia, this stuff gonna kick it right out of your body in just a matter of days. You don't need to go to no doctor. You don't need to do that. And people are like, oh, well, what if I catch a fever? Well, if you catch a fever, it's just your body's natural way of fighting off any type of infection in your body. You get what I'm saying? So what you do, how you make a tincture is you can make it two ways. For kids, you make it out of vegetable glycerin because kids can't absorb alcohol. It's not good. But push come to shove, you're going to do it if you're in the state of emergency. You hear what I mean? But anyways, you make that with vegetable glycerin. You don't do the vegetable glycerin with powdered herbs because it's just going to be a big old mess. You take whole herbs and you put it in there. Like if I wanted to make a tincture out of this rosemary, I'll put this inside of the vegetable glycerin. Soak it for however long you want to. This stuff been marinating since March. But
Can
some
you buy
people...
that already prepared?
No, I made this myself.
No, I'm asking you, can you personally?
You can, but it's going to be expensive. You're going to get a 1 ounce jar for about $18.
And this yours is small.
So
small.
instead of you, so when you go out and you buy this stuff, that's why God, he like,
No, I'm just saying.
yeah, you can buy it already made.
You can buy it already made.
But I feel like, why would you buy it already made when it's going to cost you more when you can make, for $18, you can make, this is a half-gallon jar. This one jar is probably going to cost you, what, $1.25. Your herbs going to cost you pennies, literally, on the dollar. And then what you go out and do for the alcoholic tinctures is, I want my stuff potent. Because it's going to be so much sickness, so much disease. You don't want something that, you want something to be powerful so you can take a little bit and get the job done. So what I did was I took some Everclear vodka. You can take Tito's, you can take whatever vodka that you're going to use. And you go put your herb in here. And what you want to do is put 3 times as alcohol as you do this. But I just filled mine right here to what this is. 16 ounces, and I put the rest of it alcohol. So what you do is you let it sit. It's going to go from being clear to being dark. And what you're going to do is you can make a tea, you can boil some water, and what you're going to do is you're going to take some drops of mullein. You can take it depending on if you just doing it for regular, everyday maintenance, or if you really got a cold, or if you really got pneumonia. That's going to depend upon your dosage. So with it being alcohol in here, when you put any alcohol inside of a hot beverage, it's going to evaporate. The alcohol is going to leave, and the only thing you're going to be left with is the medicine. So that's what I recommend. But if you want to, you can also mix it with a little bit of water and put it up under your tongue. And up under your tongue, you got these things called sublingual nerves or blood vessels. And what it do is put stuff directly into your bloodstream. So
What
you don't.
is that called again?
This?
Yeah,
This is mullein.
mother.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is good. So, while everybody running around here talking about the coronavirus and you need to go get tested, you need to go to the doctor, what they really should be telling people, and they not, because they're evil as hell, to take this. You gonna be good. And that's why God said, I give you everything, fruit and herb bearing seed. He said that he give you the plants for the food and he give you the leaves for the medicine. So if you believe in God, that's really what you should be doing instead of being codependent upon these doctors and letting them kill y'all slowly, because that's what they're doing, and honestly. So the next thing I made was this been up under my cabinet for almost 2 weeks, so it's almost time to get this out of here. This stuff is called fire cider. I know you heard of it. Never?
No.
So fire cider. Fire cider has I put some habaneros in there.
Ooh,
I put horseradish. I put ginger. I put all this stuff. If you got any type of sickness, only thing you need to take is probably less than a half a shot of this every day, and you gonna be good.
Didn't I take that when we were sitting with
No, I ain't never made it before. And honestly, I'm scared to take it because I know it's so hot. But heat is what knocks any sickness out of your body. Heat is what heals your body. So,
oh wow.
so after you got food, emergency water. Every time I go to Sam's Club, hold on, yes. Huh?
Dog, we need that stuff. Knock it right at you.
So I be selling this stuff to my coworkers, to my boss, to anybody who want to buy. I got somebody in my neighborhood. He want to buy sea moss, bladderwracks, all this stuff. All this stuff is really good for you. So while everybody else running around sick, that's why the Bible said 1,000 shall fall at your right side and 10,000 at your left hand, but it shall not come near you. Why? Because God done gave you the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to be prepared for this stuff so that you'll be good. So after you got food, water, oh yeah, when you go to Sam's Club, they got 48 bottles of water for $3.67. Don't be crazy. Go get you some water now. I don't care. People be looking at me like I'm crazy when I go up in there leaving out with how many 20-some cases of water, the jugs that you turn up and down that you got the dispenser. I don't care. I'm gonna get 12 of those because guess what happens the next time you go to the grocery store, just like it was in the beginning where they telling you can only get one thing of water. What you gonna do? You can't do nothing. So they've been practicing around the country blackouts. It's something in the Bible called 3 days of darkness. This is not nothing new. Ain't nothing new up under the sun. They've been blacking out. This is what they're trying to do. If you've even been around anybody who have COVID-19, and you don't get tested, they're going to shut off your water and they're going to cut your power off. This is already going on in other states. So you got to be prepared for this stuff. Because if you're not going to take the mark, that means that you need to really be up on game about what you're going to do. So... oh, here you go. So it's this thing. It's this dude I follow on YouTube. What's his name? His name is About My Father's Business. So a couple of weeks ago, I got one for my cell phone and I got one for my tablet. This is what people in the Secret Service use, something similar to this, but I'm pretty sure they got like a better grade, shall I say. This stuff will block all your wireless signals. So it's going, well, they already doing it where, like, let's say if somebody catch coronavirus and you've been around them, they can track it. Technology is crazy. You see what I'm saying? They can track whoever's been around you and basically pick up the signal on your phone and then come harass you and say, hey, it's a possibility that you might have coronavirus because you done been around XYZ. So what you're going to do is for your tablets, now with this blackout, it's something that's called the EMP. China got these missiles. A lot of people got these missiles. So what they are planning on doing, that's why it's been on the news that a blackout is coming. It's not it's a conspiracy theory. It's not none of that no more. These are facts. You see what I'm saying? So what happens when all your lights go out? The country operates off electricity. Your water operates off electricity. So if your lights go out and your power go out, so does your water, so does your electricity. And what are you going to have for a heat source? The Bible says, pray that your flight be not in the winter. And I'm like, why is God telling us this? Because it's a strong possibility that wherever it's going to go down, it's going to be in the winter. So if you don't have no fire, if you ain't got no food, you ain't got no water, you're screwed. And we got pretty cold winters. You see what I'm saying? And just imagine, like, and I feel like when I went through what I went through, I had lost my job. So I had to go live with some people, and I was in a basement, and it was so freaking cold. The basement was not insulated. It was me and my kids, and God was our heat source. I cannot kid you no lie. You got to know how to build a fire from scratch. You got to learn how to cook your food if you have no heat source. How are you gonna do all this stuff? And this is just stuff that we don't think about because we waking up every day, we smell the air, we looking in our homes, and everything all good. Everything not gonna be good no more because all this about to come to an end. So, if you need to block out your signal, if you don't want nobody tracking your phone to see where you at, what you got going on, because the government, trust me, they coming to look for you. And they're going to round you up just like they did those people in during Holocaust times. It's coming and it's here. They already been doing this in other states. They already been doing this in other countries. So you got to be a fool to think that it's not coming here. You see what I mean? This country is so spoiled. We so arrogant, so prideful, so boastful, and we don't believe that nothing can ever happen to us. Well, it's coming. So this is a tablet shield. It's by this company called Mission Darkness. And basically what you do is you put your phone or your tablet inside of here. Y'all want to try it out?
You do what now? You put your phone.
It's going to block out your signal.
Oh, no.
Oh, so nobody won't know.
So
The
Yeah.
towers won't
Go
know.
get my
they
phone.
can't
Go get
tell
my
what
phone.
you-
Right.
Where is it?
It's over there.
Oh no.
I know y'all ain't got to try it. I just want to show y'all that it
I'm
works.
thinking about
Yeah.
just the whole thing, but
Yeah.
no,
So I ain't never tried this before. Zoe, it's right there in the corner.
Yeah, it's true though.
So I want to put my phone in this bag and
I
see
read the
if
Bible,
it
and
can.
this all is in Revelation.
Yeah. So I just feel like in the Bible it says that if God show you something, I don't care who you are, what you do. If God show you something and okay, it's okay. If God show you something, I want somebody to call my phone and see.
Call her phone, Sonia.
Hold on, wait, let me roll this up. I want to see if it works.
She said call her phone. Oh, she calling me.
My ringer is up. Everything is on. Put it on speakerphone after you call.
So this is like if somebody calling you,
You don't want
how
nobody.
would you answer?
You don't need to answer. It's the last days. You're going to be on the run for your life. You
Oh,
get what I'm
okay.
saying? Because they're going to be taking you into concentration camps. All this stuff, see, it's just going to repeat itself. It
Okay.
sounds crazy when you first hear. You call
all
it.
in the camera.
It ain't ringing.
So you can't use your phone after you put it in the bag?
Stop.
All from the bag?
You want to be all in the camera. You don't need
So get
to.
what? It's called the EMP
Stop.
attack. Electromagnetic pulse
You want
missile.
pop?
I heard
So when
that.
this thing happen, what you want to do is my phone not even ringing. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So you can't even get in contact with me, which is a blessing from God. You get what I mean?
Right.
If anything
You want
happens,
pop?
this EMP missile, you want your stuff to work. How are you gonna know what's going on? You see
Right.
what I'm saying? Zoe, I'm about to pop you. How are you gonna know what's going on? How are you gonna have any signal to get in contact with your family if y'all supposed to meet up at a certain location just in case you need to? You see what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. Some people don't think that far, but you gotta start thinking that far because it's stuff at the door. The mark of the beast is here. I know we done read about it. I know people say they believe in God. Well, now God about to put you to the test. So if you get it, then you never really was with God anyway. And that's just my whole take. And I hate to sound like that, but I love Him and I would never sell myself short. And I will die for this thing. And I do mean it. So, after you got food, water, now it's going to come down to shelter. I studied the Great Depression for a good little minute because I feel like this is something that we need to revisit. It's nothing new up under the sun. So the Great Depression, you got people, the same thing. Have y'all been looking at the news? The stock market is crashing. You got to be a fool to have your money invested in some 401k and all this stuff. Because guess what? When this EMP attack happened and this system come crashing down, you ain't got no money no more. It's gone.
Wow.
All this money you done saved up, gone. And I know it was God talking to me. Yesterday, I went and I withdrew all this money out my bank account because I had just got paid. What happened when we went to the store? What the lady say?
You keep saying
Stop. What she say? Speak up, Leah.
Machine was down.
She was like, oh, I'm sorry, the credit card machine down. Oh, okay. So you mean to tell me if I got all my money tied up on this card and I want to go shopping for my family to get food, water, whatever it is, diapers, whatever you going to need, and the credit card machine don't work and you ain't got no cash, you screwed. Because ain't no telling if it would ever come back up. You get what I'm saying? When this coronavirus just happened, everybody was like, oh, everything gonna go back to normal, and where are we now? Nothing is
Still
back to
ain't
normal.
normal.
You still waiting on it, and you go keep waiting on it because it ain't gonna never come. So, during the Great Depression, you got all these people A loaf of bread was $1 million. I know that sounds crazy. A loaf of bread was $1 million because of high inflation. You
During
see
the
what I'm
Great
saying?
Depression.
During the Great Depression. Look this
Jesus.
up. People were standing in lines waiting for stuff. Soup kitchen line. I don't want to be in no soup kitchen line because if I am, that means I'm just where everybody else is. I want to be somewhere comfortable in the comfort of my own home, wherever that location gonna be with me. You better sit. Hey, go have a seat.
Let me tell you what I've been thinking about. I was thinking about building me something or finding somebody to help me build something to go underground.
Yes, and you should
And
because
stock
time
up.
is running short,
Yeah, I
and
see.
you don't have. I'm
The
just gonna be
rain.
so honest, Auntie
It's
Cent.
a-
We don't have the time we
all
think we
those
have. People
the
think this
rain
stuff
on
gonna happen a year or two from now. No, this stuff is happening right now. Everybody waiting on the tribulation.
That's fine.
What is it called?
And they had all that food.
Okay.
And I
give me
just
a
started.
minute.
I just
Everybody
started-
thinking that the tribulation is coming
Back
years
here
down the
to
line.
dig
We in the
and go
tribulation
underground.
right now. Once you start talking about injecting people with the mark of the beast, and Trump is the one to bring this stuff in, so get what? He is a very important person. He's a very important character in the Bible, and we all need to be paying attention. So these people couldn't even pay their rent, so what was they doing? Same thing now. People getting kicked out of their houses.
Surely is. I
This
saw that
happened back in the
today.
Great Depression, so what you gonna do? So I got me and my family a 12-person tent, and we went camping in my backyard, and it was so hot. I would have never thought that I had to endure something like that. But this is something that you got to prepare for. So then
How
we
many
got to.
rooms in that one?
Oh, it ain't no rooms. It's just a 3-person tent.
Oh, it's just 3 persons.
Yeah, just 3-person tent,
But
because
the
that's all I
12-person
need. I
tent
just
is
need
got
something to
two
sleep
rooms.
on. I need something to get me by, because you might not have time to take a big old tent down. But you had people sleeping on the side of the street in tents.
Tents. I saw
You see
that.
what I'm saying?
I
So
saw
it's like, don't think that this stuff's so far-fetched and you so good to the point where it ain't gonna come back and touch you in this generation. No, this is the generation that's gonna see the coming of the Lord. This is the generation that's gonna see the Antichrist. This is the generation that gonna have to die for what they believe in. You get what I mean? So it's coming. But after all this said and done, I will say this. You can have all of this stuff. You can have medical supplies. If you hurt yourself and you cut yourself, you can die from that wound. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? So do you know how to disinfect your wound? Do you know how to stitch your own stuff up? You get what I'm saying? This is the stuff that we need to be asking ourselves, because
Oh my God.
What?
Nothing. You just said this the way they both just looked at each other.
I'm saying this is
no,
something
she
that
in the medical
Yeah, I
field.
know how
You
to
are,
do
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
That's why I
like-
looked at him
So
like,
she'll
I'll
be on the
stitching
run
you
with
up.
us.
yeah.
We'll be
And then you need to stock up on medical tape.
Yes.
Because medical tape will automatically stitch you
Set it up.
It'll stitch you just like if you got a stitch.
If you do that one more time, I'm gonna
I
pop
don't know
you.
what's happening to me, but now it's
I
And,
got
uh,
you, but you need to see.
Jamal's toes are purple.
Take that thread, go up through
From
that,
football.
and just keep going.
Yeah.
what's wrong with
But
that.
they got a suture. It's called a suture kit, right?
Yeah,
You could go on Amazon and they give you the whole kit with the skin and stuff. But like I said, you get what you pay for. So you want to get a good quality one. Now, I've been doing this since 2014. Never in my life would I ever think that I would be doing some stuff like this. You see what I'm saying? But I am. So obviously, this is what God has chosen me to do. So if y'all got food left over, you need one of these. We waste so much food. If you got a whole bunch of food that you got in your refrigerator, like, man, we ain't gonna eat this, dehydrate it and put it aside. And the only thing you gotta do is add water. You see what I'm saying? And it's important. So yeah,
Dehydrated and put it up.
I just ordered this thing. It's called the Rocket Stove. Basically, what you do is fuel efficient. You put dang, my phone in the bag. Sorry, but you buy a Rocket Stove, and cause I tried to get one. Oh, it say no connection. What?
Because it's been in the bag.
Mhm. It's all good. It just came back. They let me know it worked.
Right.
So you ain't gonna be looking for me. I already know I got a target on my back because of what I know. Because like I told you, man, I don't had people of higher rank call my phone. I don't know how you got my number. I don't know nothing. They just let me know that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And like I said, Jesus said, now I believe in Yeshua because I am Hebrew. So
Hebrew Israelite.
yes.
Yeah.
So Yeshua said there's no greater love than a man that lay down the life of his friends. People don't understand. You just think that people talking about this stuff. You risking your life talking about this stuff because half of the world is asleep. They don't know all this stuff.
Right.
They tied up in Instagram, sports, makeup, whatever you want to think about. You get what I'm saying? But like I said, the Bible said that if God show you something, if you don't tell nobody anything and you keep this to yourself, when these people die, their blood gonna be on your hands. So I don't care. Like I told my kids, when y'all go to school and this conversation come up, you better speak that truth because you're going to be responsible for these people because you know the truth and they don't. So the Bible says whether they hear or whether they forbear, whether they listen to you or whether they turn their back on you, tell these people. So on the day of judgment, you can't be like, Lord, you never sent me no sign. He sent you something. You just threw it by the wayside. So that's that. And yeah, y'all can have all this stuff, but if you do not have no relationship with God, you just better off dead anyway. You see what I'm saying? It's bigger than him than just praying. It's bigger than him than just, oh, I need this, Lord. Can you come through for me? And he come through for you, and then you back off doing whatever. You can't use God and treat him like he's a light switch. When you need him, you go cut it on, and once he done gave you what you need, you cut it back off all over again. You see what I'm saying? It's bigger than that. You got a spouse. How can you say you got a relationship with God, but when you first meet whoever you with, you want to take them out. You want to get to know their likes, their dislikes, what piss them off, what make them happy. You want to be in relationship with these people. So if you ever run across a person that say, oh, I got my own personal relationship with God, but he ain't showed you none of this, do you really got a personal relationship with God? Because I know pastors and preachers that done came to my doorstep and done stole everything that I done told them and went back and preached it to their congregation.
Are you serious?
Yes. So at the end of the day, get a relationship with God because he going to be the only thing that's going to get y'all through this stuff. I take no credit for this. I didn't know nothing about this. I used to be fasting, going to bed at night, waking up. I remember I was reading the book of Enoch one night, and I kept saying, Enoch said he saw the throne of God. He saw everything. It was sent up on the platform, and he had angels surrounding him. So I was like, oh, well, I don't want to go to sleep until I see the glory of God. And I fell asleep. And I saw the same thing Enoch saw, and the fire surrounded me. The Bible says God is an all-consuming fire. And when I woke up, I was crying so bad because God's glory is that great that if you see it, you will die. You see what I mean? Wow. So I said, God, what you want me to do? He said, look at your hands. And when I looked at my hands, he said, I want you to go out and I want you to heal my people. So that's what I did. I made a YouTube channel. I make medicine. I do whatever that is contributed to healing because I don't want to be like those people in the Bible who God gave them talents and they did not use them and they buried them. And them the people that God cast into utter darkness and they go to hell. A lot of stuff that we feel like God is not concerned about, he is concerned about. And you're going to have to answer for everything that ever came out of your mouth, every action that you have ever done. And when I started thinking like that, it made me be careful with what I'm saying, what I'm doing, or whatever. You get what I'm saying? Because we all gonna have to answer before him. I'm done.
Awesome.
So I just wanted y'all to know that.
That was
I
good.
understand.
Thing I can say to everything you just said
I'm serious.
is I just feel most of the stuff you just said I was aware of.